we got another video for you. It's Roctober. As I projectile spit into the camera, yeah. I'm riding with my boy Wes Griffin. We are in Huntsville, Alabama. I couldn't get everything set up quick enough. We passed by like this huge missile and a blackbird, not the HeroClix blackbird, but like the real military blackbird. So I might catch it on the way back. I might not. I don't have night vision goggles on this thing. We're riding in. We're feeling good. It's Friday. We're doing the Rock Age limited event. Plan to have some fun. I'm gonna play Gotham City. Had some last minute addendum rule changes that I didn't know about. Just to let you know, guys, look up the autopilot rules on vehicles because yeah, it's important to know because they changed to be stupid to the point where there's no reason to use autopilot, which defeats the whole purpose of freaking autopilot. But it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a stress-free day for me. So we're going to get some more footage here. I'm hoping that I can get some solid footage of people that are showing up in certain teams. So later on I can get make another like rock promo or team promo or something like that for various teams out there. All right, that's it. Again, this is the beginning of Roctober. Okay, all right, so I skipped like most of the day, but we're getting ready for dinner here. We just had the wedding. I didn't think it would be appropriate to, record the wedding. That been a little too much. But yeah, it was pretty good. So we had the limited event. It was pretty good. We had 3 Phoenix Nest members in the final and one other guy that came with us.
And look at Scott! I'm Scott, hi!
Yes, this is Scott.
Scott, hi!
Of,
4 points and stuff.
4 points and critical clicks.
And also those tastefully nude photos.
Okay, again, this is starting over podcast. Okay, so we're gonna move back away. This is how Scott gets rid of Edward. Here's Howard, he's biz man. But yeah, like overall, we actually have a decent amount of space. Like when Howard did the walkthrough, he actually did sort of point out like how much space there is. Definitely when you have overflow. Oh, sorry. All right, so we got more space over here. That's Chip. We all know Chip. We got PJ analyzing something or other. We got Kari Sampson. Great guy. Got my teammates over there, Jared. So like the space is pretty good. I have Adam Freeman and Patrick playing Magic. Who's winning?
He pulled out the first one.
All right.
Very close.
Oh, and
of course,
Magic the Gathering final.
It's Magic Gathering versus 2 great players of the game.
Having lost at many PTQs, I think the competition is a lot less stiff.
All right, there we go. All right, so they got a lot of HeroClix underneath here. Have most of your modern and some of your golden age figures down under here. So definitely a good selection of stuff. They make the food back over there. There's a lot of stuff. They got like a sandwich panini maker. They got knives. They got this lady, she's been taking pictures for the Facebook. So check out the Facebook, Lucky Dice Facebook. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There are also some maps. So definitely know I'm gonna be buying a Final Sacrifice map. So these are some of the maps that they have for us to sail down. This one looks the coolest because it's like the energy wave going across. So yeah, like that's just awesome. This is just a street. This is just a street. It's called Donut Shop. So yeah. Oh, there's PJ. Do you want to get in this?
I was just being nosy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now,
You only shoot EJ's beard.
That's James Mann. Yeah.
I'm not as luxurious as PJ.
This is Team Juggernaut. How many battle royales have y'all done so far today?
Too many. I think I'm done. I think after this weekend, I won't play clicks for like 6 months.
We've done like what, five or six.
Have you pulled any chases?
Yeah, Iron Fist, but we didn't win it.
Iron Fist, Black Panther.
Black Panther, and nobody at this table has it.
What?
Because we're awful. That guy right there for Clicksman has won 3 chases today.
Well, DJ got the
DJ's got 1 too.
Okay.
It's been fun though.
Yeah.
Come to Roctober.
Yeah. Get chases and not win them. What?
I don't think I can say the last part of that on your podcast.
Oh yeah. I'm on YouTube. I'm on YouTube. There we go. All right. So, dude, I'm not even monetized at this stage. I don't even care. Like, I have no commercials. All right, so they got clothing store, Clothing Cove. This is not bad. It's a not bad map. I don't think it's game changing, but I think it's not bad. If you're a fan of the bank map, that's a bank heist map is good. This is Ultimate Sacrifice. This is going to be the new, I think one of the new game changer maps. Definitely with all the elevations. There's tons of elevation changes. And we have, of course, Zipline Park, which is up here. So, all right, this is Friday at Roctober. Again, I might take some more pictures with the food. I'm a bit lightheaded. Brother's been out here Pokemon playing like a boss. Played some Hero Clicks like a boss. If you watched online, I was on the stream for the tournament today. So we'll be back playing some more Hero Clicks, getting some more footage.
For one major reason, that we have so much Hero Clicks and the ability to compete so often is because of this man right here. Give it up for the legend, Howard Brock, everybody!
Oh, and by the way,
Like still
the reigning defender.
Champion.
Hello?
Yeah. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, sweet. That's the best announcement ever.
I told you it was big. All right. So I'm going to have some good things to say, great things to say, and maybe some bad things to say.
Don't talk about Dan like that.
But the bad things lead into good things. So for the last 3 months, I've been talking religiously with WizKids. And we've been working on things for next year and for the future. I will say that things are very, very good and the future is very, very good. We are changing the way we do things in order to make the things that are planned in the future work. All right, so the first thing that I want to say is that we're streamlining and we are changing the way our kits are, the kits pricing. We will not be doing money anymore. Okay, that's maybe the negative thing, the bad thing. Okay, and I've told you there's good coming though. Okay, so we're not going to be doing money anymore. We're not going to be doing redemption anymore. Redemption ends this weekend. Okay? As soon as this week is over, the kits will be changing. What goes in the kits will slowly be changing. We are now sponsored by WizKids.
Wow.
That is what is right now. Again, what I knows downstream, if everything goes right, should be even more. Okay? That means that we're going to start having, the plan is that we're working the details out almost on a daily basis, convention exclusives in the kits.
That's cool.
The plan is to have convention exclusives on the lowest level, which would be Winamaps.
Nice. Wow. Sweet.
Okay? That's what we want to do. Streamlining, when I told you what we were going to be doing, there's no more super queues.
What?
There's no more mega super queues.
What?
Instead, we have Winamaps. The next level up will be qualifiers. Qualifiers will be taking the place of them, where it's fewer type events. Qualifiers are comparable to what a super queue was, probably more than what a super queue was. Okay? And then your next step up, we're placing states at a higher level. Then we're placing regionals at a next higher level. Then there's nationals, which the nationals will be WizKids Nationals. And there will be worlds. Now, so what are we doing with the Cup? The Cup next year will be a world qualifier. It will be after nationals. It will be a world qualifier, possibly more. Just right as the plan is right now, we would do the same thing that we did last year, or this year rather. We would run the same events the same way that we did this year. The difference would be that there's a possibility that the event types that we run could change. That's the way I would like to say that. It's also a possibility we can keep it exactly the same. Points will be changing. The points that are in Winamaps will be changing. The points that are in qualifiers will be changing. It will actually be more. The biggest purpose here is we, WizKids, myself, I think that everybody knows what the problem is with HeroClix right now, and that is we do not have enough local play. Competitive play is fine. Sales are fantastic. The game is in a good state right now, but we need week-to-week play. That's why we're doing Winamaps with convention exclusives. That's why there's going to be more emphasis put on a local level. And you can earn points, more points in a Winamap. It gets better. Points earned in rock tournaments will qualify for WizKids Worlds. Woo! And WizKids Nationals. It will be a dual point system. There's a maximum amount of points now that a player can have. That would be 300. It takes 200 points to be in Worlds. It takes 100 points to be, what did I say, 200 or 300? 300. It takes 200 to be in Worlds. It takes 100 points to be in Nationals. What that means is you accumulate points through the year. They stay with you forever. What we're trying to target is the guy that can't make it this year. The guy that doesn't have the money to go this year. The guy that plays in the store and slowly gets points week in and week out, or maybe he has gaps, but he's slowly getting points. And his dream is to go to and play in Worlds. That guy can go this year if he's got points, or 5 years from now if he gets enough points. His points stay with him.
Hell yeah.
Okay? That's for Worlds, that's for Nationals. Now, what you can do next year, I haven't worked the details out on the Cup, but the World Qualifier, because the point systems are changing, but let's say hypothetically that we did the same thing we did this year. We said it's 100 points to be in semifinals and 200 points to be in finals. Okay? Hypothetically, let's say that we did that.
Okay.
Those points will not be subtracted from your WKO points. So you can go to both. So if it takes 200 points to come here, you take the 200 points, you come here. If you still have 200 points left over, you can go to Worlds. Now, When I say a world qualifier, what I mean by that is that if you come and you participate here and you win it, you get 200 points. How many points do you need to go to Worlds? 200. That's what that means.
I can play both.
If you go and play in nationals, those points will be subtracted. Let's say hypothetically again, you have 300 points and you use 100 points to go to nationals. You still have 200 points left over, you can go to Worlds. You also, as soon as you use those 100 points, you can start accumulating more points. So when you max out, if you use your points to go to somewhere, you can then start accumulating points again. Okay? They keep rolling over. That's the purpose is to get everything that we're doing, that we're all attached, and we're always earning points, and it's all targeted towards nationals, all targeted towards Worlds, all targeted towards the world qualifier. The intention is that we will also try to run a similar type of event after Worlds, after Nationals rather, after Nationals on the West Coast and the East Coast. This would be the East Coast. Okay, we don't want to forget about the West Coast. We want to have another type of event that I'm running over here, over there. Okay, that may or may not happen this year, but it will happen. I say this year, I guess I should say next year. Seasonal, not figuratively the years, I guess is where I'm at. Okay, we will have, now on the winter maps, the winter maps, they're going to stay at $50, okay? But you're going to have convention exclusives in there. You're going to get points that you can earn to go to the World Championship as well as to what Rock has. They also can be any format. If you want to run a sealed, run a sealed. If you want to run some wink, we don't care. You can run whatever format that you want to run for the smaller events. When you step up to a qualifier, you now follow into our format that we choose for that time period. Okay? So that's going to remain the same. I need to go back because the things over the last 3 months have changed, and a lot has changed from 2 weeks ago to a week ago to literally 2 days ago. But everything is on target to where I think that we're going. It's just, and there's good reason why why we're doing the things that we're doing. I believe the cost on a qualifier will be $300 to a store. Okay, they will include convention exclusives and everything that you normally get in a rock kit. Now, rock maps will be WizKids legal. Woo!
Starting when?
Starting when?
Starting when?
Don't know.
Okay.
I will have to answer that question later, but I know there is an announcement.
Yes!
There's an announcement that it's very brief that will be coming out Monday. Without a lot, I'm giving you a lot more details than what the announcement will be, but it will say, it will talk about the rock maps being legal from WizKids. It will not give you a specified date. I will get back with you and we will announce that. But I cannot guarantee that it will be for Worlds this year. I would like to say that next year, January, that the rock maps. I plan on doing this anyways. We will be restricting rock maps to 2 years. I think everybody knew that was going to be coming.
Yeah.
At the end of this year, what we call modern age legal will be 2 years.
We need to.
I also want to say that rock maps are under that, even though they're modern age legal, they still will fall under the discretion of WizKids and us as to whether they go on that modern age list. So there may be maps that we've made in the last 2 years that may not make that list. So keep that in mind. But I will say that what you now have, prize maps are very valuable. So you guys have an edge up on that. So keep that in mind. And that means that future maps are going to be very valuable. That's a big thing to me, okay? We will be running 2 states next year.
2 states?
2 state championships. We will be running a sealed state championship, and we will be running a constructed state championship. I will give details on that, on cost and times at a later date, but we will be running 2. We had planned. Now, the other thing is that I've always had a problem. It's always been a little bit of a problem in knowing what WizKids is doing and trying to schedule around them. That's not a problem anymore. Not a problem at all. We'll be able to schedule things when and how they make sense, even set releases. We will know when and where to go and how to go and everything else to make everything, make the events the best they possibly can, okay? Now, if you guys want to help, where I would like you guys to help the most is on the local level and getting involvement in the stores, getting the venues to buy into this plan, getting players back into it. It's a long time coming. I would say this to Patrick, and pointed this out in the conversation that we had earlier today. In the fact that there's a lot of other programs, and we'll just name the name, Magic, that has involvement on the store level, that you earn things, and that's what we're targeting. We're trying to go to that when you play, that you have a reason to play, and something happens when you play. Even if you're playing casually, a casual tournament can be a rock tournament, and you can get points, and you can qualify for Worlds, and that's what we want to bring back. We want to make local play more. I've heard countless venues talk about how they don't have players in the local stores anymore, that there's not enough draw. Well, if you have a sealed event, people show up. If you have a big competitive event, people show up. But if you have a yoki-doke regular tournament, people don't show up. Everybody knows that. Everybody can testify to that. And what we want to do is we want to increase that. We want to bring more people in. For the judge program will remain in place. It's going to be a little bit different. The tier program will remain in place. The tier program will change. The points will change. The points will change because of what we're introducing. Judges should get a lot more points because we should be running a lot more tournaments. That's the whole idea behind that. So that's still there, but it will be changing. The same things that we have in place, we plan on adding convention exclusives into the judge program that we didn't have before. We plan, that's providing that we can work it out with WizKids, but that's what I want to do. Earning enough to play in the Cup or in the Worlds can happen, okay, by judging. We want to reward judges. We want to encourage judges to play. Which brings me into this. Another major change that I will be doing, players' points. Right now you have to have a Rock account to get your points. That's not required anymore for players. We will be every event that we run, I will be tracking it on Win, and when we run it on Win, I will apply your points, and I will keep it on a separate spreadsheet rather than the account at Rock. Judges, however, so I do not need event reports anymore. Effective after this year, I do not need after this event, I do not need event reports. I will go every week, I will see everything that's scheduled, and I will find them. Now, how am I going to do that? I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do that. There's some flaws in our system that we recognized last year that we're fixing. For example, Jamie can testify to this. Anybody that's bought a kit can testify to this. When you buy a kit, you pay for it on Rock, in the Rock website. After the kit is bought, we get an email, and it tells us that you bought a kit. We don't, from that email, unless you've already talked to me, I have no idea. My wife, who does the kits, has no idea when your event is, okay? We will be putting something in place that where you buy your kits, that you have to put in the information. So we will have the information. We will then take that information and put it on a different kind of system than what we had before, not a spreadsheet, more of a calendar. I'm not sure which one we're going to be using, but we will have a calendar, and we'll have a proximity search to where you can find events and you can see everything that's upcoming. And from that, I can look at every week that everything that's going on, go to the win, and pull the information that I need. So I don't need reports anymore. However, the win has flaws, as we all know.
Wow.
Two flaws that bother me the most about win. I guess I would say three. There's three flaws that bother me. You guys may have more than me. I actually talked to the person that wrote the win through talking with WizKids. And I complained. One of these fixes will be coming about soon, I believe. There's a timeout issue.
Yes.
And the timeout it drives us nuts. And they did that on purpose. They did it on purpose to protect the player, but they forgot about the event organizer. And so it's there to time out so that the player's information is up on the screen and nobody can get into it and see it and do whatever with it. Great. So I've asked them to extend that to an hour. If we have an hour timeout, that's more than adequate for us to go in there and not have to keep reloading when we forget and we get busy. Because I mean, I do it all the time. We do it here. I've literally given Dan Powell 1 point in the tournament and saved it, then went back and put it back the way it was and saved it again, just so I don't time out. And it shouldn't be that way. So that's going to be fixed. The other thing is that when you look at results, I have to go and look literally at each match at the very end to see who actually placed where, because it doesn't account for single elimination. Sometimes it will place somebody with a better record that got eliminated in single elimination higher than somebody that's not. So you have to go back and you have to decipher what the results are. So that's a little bit more detailed, but that's something else that I would like to get fixed. The third thing is I don't know who the judges are. I can pull a report, but it doesn't tell me who the judges are. Therefore, because of that fact, if you want your judge points, you have to report the event to me, and you have to report it to me within a week. If you do not report it to me within a week, you don't get your judges points. Now, I don't need the event report. I just need you to send in and say, I and this guy or whoever is the judge of this event, and attach me a link to the event. I'm not even really looking at the event. I'm just verifying that you were the judge. And that's it. Now, what's going to happen is all of your guys' points that you have now in the Rock account are going to be converted over, and you now have points towards the World Championship. Not this year, next year. Okay? So you now have points for Nationals and for Worlds next year. Okay? Judges, I will be pulling all your points out, and I will be putting them to another system. Judges now will go in, their points will now go into the Rock system. So if you're a judge, you have to have a Rock account. You have to, and you have to report your events to get your points. So if you report your events on a timely basis within a week, then I will put your points into the Rock system, and you can always look and see how many judges' points you got. Makes much more sense, doesn't it? Okay, so we'll be doing that. Furthermore, Rock judges. Now, you do not have to be a Rock judge to judge a Rock event. Don't have to be certified, not required. You're still going to get points. We're still going to send you prizing off the tier. Not required. We do give you a few more points if you pass the test and become a Rock judge. You now have to pass a background check to be a certified judge.
Yeah,
Okay?
in what regard?
So, you don't have to pass a background check, that's on the venue. The venue wants to take Jamie as a judge and don't want anything, don't want to do anything, that's up to
Why do
them.
we have to do a background check?
But to be a certified rock judge, you've got to pass a
Speak up,
background
I'm
check.
deaf and I'm
plus the
drunk.
test. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Rock Online will continue. So the same prizes that are going to be in the regular offline tournaments will be in the online. The same point system going towards Worlds and Nationals will be Rock Online. Many of you noticed we got new, I don't know if you've got any, but we've got new objects. We've got 8 of them. I'm going to start, I don't know if I'm going to do it every month or every 2 months or whatever, but I'm going to remove one object and add an object constantly.
Always new stuff.
Always new stuff. So we're gonna, I might even do 2 at a time, but I'm going to start a process to where we're changing that constantly. So we don't just keep seeing the same thing over and over and over again. So there's going to be rotate 2 in, rotate 2 out, rotate, and I might even do more than that, but there's going to be a rotation that comes.
Wait, so I'm not going to have more unicorns?
Well, they go away anyway. Unicorns go away after the cup. I mean, that was it. We've got 8 new ones, but after the cup, at some point I'm going to start rotating them, okay? If you guys have not heard about this, I'm now telling you this. We have a map club. Our map club will begin in January with certainty. You can pay for it, and I'll have it up pretty soon. You can pay for it and join it before then. The map club is our monthly map club. You can join that club, and the maps that are received, the monthly maps that we send out, if you join that club, we're going to call it a VIG club, very important gamer. Those maps that you purchase there, they're still $30. If you purchase them, you'll get them 2 weeks early. You'll get a newsletter that tells you a little bit about the map from the map maker, some information, so on and so forth. Also, there's a plan that we have in place. If you pay for 6 months in advance, you will be able to buy rock overstock items as they come along. You'll have the first chance to buy things that nobody else has seen or can get their hands on. When we have those, could be prize maps. So you have the first opportunity to do that. We will start printing 2 times a year a variant map. Okay, what is a variant map? The variant map. Let's take the hedge map that we got out, which, by the way, if you guys have not bought a hedge map yet, you should. If you, we have them here, and they're very meta. All right, so the hedge map is green. So what if we put snow on it? Okay. What if we took something, we put it on an alternate Earth? Everything's the same. The walls are still where they are, but maybe we make the wall something else. Or we make the building look something different. Or we take it to an alternate dimension. Anything along those lines. Maybe it goes from nighttime to daytime.
Saskatchewan
We will make variant maps of. So if you're in the map club and you pay 6 months in advance, you can buy those variant maps at half price, $15. Okay. If you are in the map club and you pay a year in advance, I'll give you 2 variant maps free each year. Those maps all these maps will come, and they'll be stamped with our logo in the bottom, and they'll say VIG on it. Okay? I think I've talked about everything I want to talk about. I'm sure I'll remember some things. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah. How is this change going to affect the circuits like the Houston Shootout and the Majestic Series? Are they going to be allowed to continue, or are new ones going to be allowed to pop up?
My plan is to keep doing this series, if they want to do them series, but it may be in a different manner than what we've done before.
So if I wanted to start a series, I could still buy Win a Map, set up my whole event, everything like
Yes,
that? Okay.
there's still ways to do the series. I have some ideas on that, and I plan on reaching out to the ones that have done it before. They now mean more when you do them because of the way that they're structured. And I have some ideas on how to make that an even better work. Okay?
Is Wiz Kids gonna keep doing the WKOs too?
Yes. Yes. WKOs will continue. At this moment, you can still earn a buy at a WizKids Open the way that you did before. And you can still also earn points through Rock. You can double qualify, so to speak. There are things down the road that I hope that will be different, but all I can tell you is we're talking about it. And stay tuned. Things can change in a heartbeat. Here first.
Like a rock point's still gonna be a thing, or is that gonna be fixed?
Yes, your rock points now, they're still the same. They're gonna be in a different place, but your rock points will qualify towards the WK. So let's say you have 70 points right now in your rock account. You now have 70 points towards next year, but you also have 70 points towards Nationals and Worlds with WizKids.
You said you were keeping them in a spreadsheet. Are we still gonna be able to look them up?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
They're going to be, I want to create a new system to where everybody can go and click and it looks at your points. It's just going to be different than what it was before. Everybody might be able to see everybody's points at the same time.
If I use my
points for the cup thing?
Yes.
You mentioned that things are going to change like time frame wise. Is it still going to be Roctober, or do you plan on pushing like the Rock Cup a farther distance away from Worlds or closer to Nationals? And there's the time period from states going to go before Nationals or stay where it's at? Because you said everything's like if dates are going to change. You said weights oaks are going to change.
I don't have my calendar in front of me, but I've got things at home, so I'm not going to remember everything. But still planning on being in October. It has to be, to be what it is, it has to be after Nationals and before Worlds. It's a World qualifier. In other words, if you need another chance to try to make Worlds, you can come to here.
You said we're going to be 200 points, or the winner gets 200 points at the Rock Cup, right? For next year. What other, will we still have, we won't have money anymore?
No, the money's out.
What will be the grand prize really besides just
Convention exclusives, maps, everything that you're used to seeing. Hopefully a lot more. Now, again, when I'm saying convention exclusives, that is the plan. I feel very confident that that's going to happen, but we're talking about it. Okay.
You were mentioning that the fact that if we build up enough points, 300 as the max.
Yes.
Okay. So if I use my points here to play, does that subtract from? Okay. So even if I have 300 points, I use 100 to play here, I still have 300 points.
Yes.
Okay.
We're making it where you can play both.
Okay, and still not lose your points.
Yes, it's a dual system.
Awesome.
Okay. Here.
Can you, like, if you're at the max and you win a tournament, would they send the points down to the next person, or are those points just gone?
Points will no longer be transferable.
Okay.
Ooh.
So there's no buy transfer sending or anything?
No. We're going to a complete point system, no transfers. We believe, with what I know is in the future, we believe there's going to be so many tournaments at some point that you're going to have bukus of points. And also remember, the points are going up.
But if first place can't get the points, does second place get the points?
No, that's what he just asked me.
Okay.
Yes.
Player rankings. How is that going to be affected as far as like realms back when?
Back when we used to do rankings?
Whenever they used to do rankings, are you going to start doing rankings again? How is that going to affect between WizKids events and Rock events?
The rankings were always just for fun. They didn't really give you anything, and it's too much to keep up with. And I would, at some point, someday, some part in the future, maybe there's a software guy here. If you can write me a program to where I don't have to sit there and do everybody one by one, then I would be willing to take a look at that. Okay? Go ahead.
I just wanna, so next year, there's not gonna be any cash prizes for Roctober at all?
Correct. It will be, we will be, it will be, you will be happy with what we give next year. Okay? Questions?
Is it simply that the Rock Cup won't have cash prize, or will other affiliated events we participate also have cash?
Correct.
Which one?
Both.
Yes.
Yes.
What was the question? We couldn't hear him
We
over
couldn't
there.
hear him.
We couldn't hear you with the wall.
There will be no more cash prizes in rock events.
No matter what, whether it's on the side, like
Correct.
you're doing your own event and you want to
Correct.
put cash on it, you can't do it anymore.
No Majestics.
Now,
Majestics.
I want to make sure that I'm very, very, very clear on this. Again, I've been working for 3 months with WizKids to try to get where we're at. And things changed, and then they changed, and they changed, okay? I'm not upset about the changes. I know where we're going, okay? That's what you guys gotta do. You gotta trust me that I know where we're going. There's reasons why we're doing everything. I'm not prohibited by WizKids to give out cash. I could do cash if I wanted to. I know where I'm going, and because I know where we're going, I don't want to do cash because it would compound problems later on. Okay? I can't explain that. If you ask me in a year from now, I can. They're fine. Yeah, there's no changes. Correct.
Can you repeat those questions?
Okay, so his question is, there's 2 questions. The first question was that if there are already cash events out there, does that mean that they're killed? They're not. Anything that's already in place is fine, there's no problems. The second part of the question is that that means that if you have points and you want to redeem them, that you have to do it this weekend. That is correct. The reason I'm announcing this is because your points have more value now than they did before. If you're wanting to make nationals, if you're wanting to go to worlds, if those things are important to you, you don't want to get rid of your points. If they're not important to you, well, cash them in, that's fine.
I can use those points for cash here, or use the ones I have and save those other ones.
The tournament points, the hard rocks.
Tournament points have no cash value.
Okay. And they also are used for other things.
The tournament points that are earned through the Battle Royals Hard Rocks are only tournament points that qualify you into semifinals and finals here.
And I have one other really important question. This seems very hard to set up, very complex. Is it true that Easton in no way helped and in fact was just useless the entire time?
I have a question to you. Who's Easton?
I'm not your wife.
Go ahead.
The world is going to stay at the end of November.
At the end of November. What I can't speak wholly for WizKids and what their plans are. What I can tell you is a little bit about what I've been told, and that is that PAX has rolled the red carpet out for them, and they like PAX. And I think that anything is always subject to change, and that the plan is right now, I think that they're probably going to stay with PAX, but PAX could move, who knows? But things change. I mean, I think that what happens this year and next year at the World Championships could have a big say-so in what their future plans are. I mean, it's pretty simple. WizKids did what they did because they were given the red carpet treatment. It's also a good area of the country. Now, I know this isn't good for everybody, but just from a statistical point of view, where they're putting it makes sense. It's where the most population in the United States is. And as a business, that's what they look at. Now, that doesn't help California, doesn't really help Alabama, but that's what the deal is. That's why they did what they did. You can't really argue with that. Does that mean that they're gonna stay there forever? I don't know. How many times have they changed? How many times have they changed on the last second notice? I have no idea. I know it's there this year. Any other questions? Go ahead.
So with the points, like you were mentioning, the ones that still have like TCG points, we can use them today, or this year.
Yeah.
So for instance, like if I play a bunch of rock and rolls, do my points that I make in the rock and rolls transfer to next year, or are they strictly this year?
No,
They're just the
no,
same.
rock and rolls and hard rocks are for this year to help you qualify for semifinals and finals. They're just tournament points only for this event.
Okay.
Let's make it simple for everybody to understand. They're grinders.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Sure. I don't know about, I mean, I think it would make Whiz kids happy, and I think that would, we obviously are doing something right. Okay. No. They can use them for next year, either at the Rock Cup, or they can use them at the World Championships and Nationals. Correct. TCG player points would have been, had we not did any changes, this would have been the last event that you could use the cards for TCG player points. Yeah, they're still valid. Yeah, and that, James just made a good point. You can still use those cards anytime, even 5 years from now at TCG player. They do have a prize wall. You still can use those points at TCG player. Any other questions? Fred?
This is still the last tournament we can exchange those for correct?
For entry?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
They're still valid right now.
They're still valid for this, but after this, they don't have any rock or whiskey value.
That's correct. But that would have been true regardless of what we did.
Right.
They had to be,
No,
yeah.
from the
Okay. Go ahead.
Who's paying for the judges' background checks?
I am.
Okay. Cool.
Oh.
Are you worried that Jake
That reminds me, what is in regards to the background? Because if I go for a judge, there's some things that I can't look at.
They are locked as a player. They're not transferable. Okay. I've been asked that multiple times. I'm going to answer it so again everybody hears it. Points after this cup are not transferable.
What am I going to transfer?
We want to transfer you.
And on that note, dear listeners, I am going to stop recording.